We are now 3 weeks into our month-long meal plan. Things are going really good. I'm already through week 3 and have over $100 left. So I'm looking really good for at least hitting and hopefully beating my $400 goal for my grocery bill. And I'm really excited to share some information with you today that is not so much meal related, but more talking about the extras in our meal plan. If we're talking about a week-long meal plan, I can leave out the snacks and tell you do what you want to do and you just add a little bit of extra for that. But if I'm doing a month-long meal plan, I'm gonna have to calculate a little bit of money for snacks and drinks and other extras that everybody is gonna want at some point during the month. So those are the kind of things that we're going to talk about in today's video, the little extras that can really add up quick and take over our budget if we're not careful. I've got some tips and hints for you to save throughout the month, even if you are supplying your family with plenty of snacks and extras. Let's talk about some of the ideas that have helped me and my family this month, and I want to hear all of your ideas down in the comments below. You can find links to the first 2 videos in this series down in the description box. I hope that you've already seen them. If you haven't, you can go ahead and watch today's video and then go back and watch them. You don't have to watch them in order for them to make sense. But I'm really excited about the things I have to talk to you about today, so we better get started. Since this is a 30-day budget meal plan video, I do want you to know that you can find all of the meal plan for this week down in the description box. I will also include the recipes down there. So I'm not going to talk about the specifics of the dinners in this video. I'm really going to focus on snacks. I think that is an important thing for us to talk about through this series, and I don't want to discount it or forget to mention it. So we're going to dedicate today's video to snacks and extras that we can include in our meal plan and still have a really tight, frugal budget. So find all of those meals down below. Also, I appreciate all of the encouragement that y'all have been for me about this meal plan. It seems like it is really helping you, and I appreciate you telling me that so much. Sometimes I'm not sure how a certain type of content is going to hit. I feel like this series is really helping some of you to be able to pinch a couple more pennies out of your budget. That helps me to know what content is helpful to you and what isn't. So thank you for all of your good feedback. Okay, now let's talk about some of the specific things that we need to think about when we're talking about extras or snacks in our food budget. First of all, I want you to know that adding snacks to our food budget is imperative. Nobody wants to go through the month not having any extra, especially if you're really stretching the dollars at dinner time and there's not a lot of extra going on during the day. You don't want to also pinch out every single snack option. That will lead to a lot of disgruntled family members. That's not what we're aiming for. We want everybody to be happy, everybody to be filled, and everybody to feel like they are a part of this process and they have a say. So my first point is, let's allow some autonomy on the snack section of the meal plan. What I mean by that is, let's give everybody an opportunity to choose a couple of snacks, either one snack per person per week, or everybody agrees on 3 or 4 snacks for the week. If it's at like a big box store like Costco or Sam's, you probably are going to have to limit that to 2 or 3 during the month because those are big boxes with big price tags. But I would say throughout the month, let's at least allow $30 to $40 for the snack section of the meal plan. That's 10% of your budget, but it really will make a big difference when it comes to how your family feels about the meal plan itself. So the way that this might work for my family is I would just send out a group text. Does anybody have any requests for the grocery list? Anybody have any special snacks they're looking for? And then whatever they request, I'll add it to my grocery list and make sure I pick it up. Sometimes some of the kids come along with me. Most of the time, Lane is with me, and I will allow him to pick 1 or 2 specific snacks for himself that he will eat. He's not a big eater, so I try to make sure that these are at least semi-nutritious. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. but just giving everybody a little bit of a say in the options that are available when they go to the pantry at night and they're hungry, that will make a big difference in the family dynamics and in the happiness of the home in relation to the meal plan. Okay, number 2, let's opt for whole foods whenever possible. Now, I'm going to sort of redefine whole foods. I do know what a whole food is, but for the purpose of this video, what I mean as a whole food is a single ingredient item or a very minimally processed item that has few ingredients, 5 or less. And the reason that I think it's important for us to limit our snacks to mainly whole foods is because we're going to get more for our money when we buy those kinds of ingredients. We're also going to get a lot more nutrition when we buy those kinds of ingredients, and it will allow us to do a lot more things than just open the package and eat that particular item. So there's lots of different things that could be included in this section, but I'm thinking things like fruits, vegetables, dairy products like cottage cheese, yogurt, eggs or meat slices, even peanut butter and other kind of nut butters, nuts themselves. All of these items are really healthy, good for you, and they will satisfy us for a lot longer. So the main thing that we want to go for when we're talking about using our grocery money for snacks is how long are we going to be filled with this ingredient? So if I eat several chips, that's not going to last me very long. If I eat a half a cup of cottage cheese, now that could last me for 3 or 4 hours. And so that's where our focus needs to be. Good, wholesome, whole foods. Number 3, I think it's really important for us to plan in some time in our schedule to make homemade snacks. That's what you've been seeing in this video. Lane and I really had fun making these donuts. I also was able to make some granola out of several items that were just in the pantry and needed to be used up. And also, some things just take a lot of time, like hard-boiled eggs. Those things take some time to prepare. You would think that it would be simple and easy, just hard boil an egg, but I have not cracked the code of how to get the shell off of the hard-boiled egg without completely decimating the final product. So it takes some time to work through certain snack options. Not everything is going to be grab and go. So it's really important for you to just take a little bit of time out of your schedule to make some homemade snacks. They are always going to be more affordable, healthier options than you can find in the store. And it's really good if you can make one, but a lot better if you can make 2 to 4. I found a bread box on Amazon. I just fell in love with it when I saw it. And although I didn't really need this bread box, I did think that this could be advantageous for me to have my snacks in there and everybody be able to see in a visual way what's available. That way they wouldn't be thrown in the pantry and forgotten about and then mold and have to be thrown to the chickens. Instead, these can be easily accessible, easily seen, and they will be eaten each and every week. I'm trying to add 2 or 3, maybe even 4 snacks to the bread box each week. And that way we always have like a rotation of items available that are a lot healthier than the store-bought options. So some ideas for homemade snacks would be like muffins, these donuts that we made, some granola, just using the things that you have in your pantry already. It's really easy to make energy bites out of peanut butter and honey and oatmeal. Those are really affordable and they are also really good. You can make, like I said, those hard-boiled eggs if you've got the time and patience. It's easy to make crackers at home, and you can make sweetbreads, savory breads, all kinds of different kinds of bread recipes that you can find online. Things like party mix or trail mix. These are just very easy things that you can put together that will allow you to supply your family with the snacks that they're going to want without having to take a huge chunk out of your grocery budget. Okay, the next tip is make sure that you set your limitations ahead of time so that no one is surprised. I really believe that information and knowledge is power. So empower your family by telling them ahead of time what you have allowed for snacks. That way, nobody's going to come up and say, hey, Mom, can I have this for my one snack? And it be some kind of $20 snack item that you were totally not expecting. If you go ahead and tell them sort of what you have budgeted for the snacks per person, that will give them a range and they will know what they're working with. That way, nobody is disappointed, nobody is surprised, and nobody is upset when you have to tell them no 100 times before they finally find that one snack that you will allow. Okay, next up, I think we really need to try to limit the processed snacks that we bring into our homes. Read labels at the store. I do this on a regular basis, and you've seen me do that several times throughout our grocery haul section of the first 2 videos. I will flip a package over and I will scan to see what kind of ingredients are included in this package. Some ingredients are fine, even though they're in a processed food item. Some ingredients are total no-goes for me. For example, I try to avoid high fructose corn syrup. I also try to avoid really high sugar ingredients. I'm working on eliminating seed oils, although that one is really tough. I'm not there yet. I also really try to limit artificial food dyes and artificial flavors. Those kinds of things are not going to be beneficial. They're not going to do anything to increase the health value of that particular food item. And so I try to avoid them whenever possible. You have to make your own list. I'm not saying that those have to be on your list. I'm just saying it's probably best for us to have a list and for us to make sure that we scan those labels before we put that item in our cart. That way we won't be surprised when we get home and find out that something is a GMO ingredient and we didn't really even know it because we didn't pay attention to what was in the item. Next up, let's talk about prepackaged items. I know as a mom, it is very easy to just open a big package, take out a bag of a little package of gummy bears and give it to your kid. I've got it. I understand. It is so easy when you have a prepackaged snack just to open it and hand it out. I'm not saying that those are not helpful. I'm not saying that we never have those at our house. What I am saying is if you are trying to stay within a pretty tight budget, those prepackaged items are really, really costing you. So let's say we're talking about goldfish crackers. If you look at the per ounce cost of the individually packaged goldfish versus a big box of goldfish, you're going to see a substantial price difference. Now, I would recommend that we make our goldfish at home. It's super easy, not hard. It's enjoyable. It's a little fun activity to do with your kids. And those are pennies on the dollar versus the prepackaged items. Not everybody has time to do that, so I'm just going to say get the bigger box of whatever snack it is that your kids are wanting and take a little bit of time when you get home from the grocery store and pre-package them into your own individual baggies at home. And the good news is those individual Ziploc baggies do not have to be one use, then you throw them in the garbage. Earlier this month, I told y'all that Chris likes to make his own oatmeal packets and he stores them in little Ziploc bags. Well, he reuses those Ziploc bags 20 or 30 times before he decides to retire them. So just because you put them in a plastic baggie doesn't mean that you are upping the cost of your snack item. You really can reuse those dozens of times and they will be just as good as the first time you use them. It is hard to get your kids to remember not to throw them away, so you might have to do a little bit of teaching and training when it comes to that. But as far as the cost effectiveness, even if you have to throw the little baggie away every time, you're still going to come out way far ahead if you just package the item yourself. Okay, let's talk about something that might be controversial. The next tip is when you buy something that you do not like at the grocery store, take it back. Get your money back and go buy something that you know you will like. I know that people do not like to be hassled. I know that it is embarrassing to go to the grocery store and say, my kids didn't like this snack. Can I please have my money back? But if your kids didn't like something and the grocery store has a policy that allows you to return the item, then I say all you have to do is go and ask. So we bought some buy one get one free popsicles for my son the other day. He loves these popsicles, but he got a different flavor. And he hated them. Like, he would not eat them. This was going to be total money wasted. And so I went back to the store and I was like, I'm really sorry. He did not like these. Could I get my money back? And they were like, no big deal. Sure. And they gave me the money back that I had spent. That way I could add it back into my wallet and I can go and buy him another snack that he will eat. Now, maybe other people think that this is not fair or not an appropriate response, but I do know that the grocery stores that I shop at have very liberal and generous return policies. Aldi is very willing for you to bring the item back, and if you have the receipt, they will give you your money back and they will give you another item just to make sure that the first one that you got was not mispackaged or maybe old or something else might be wrong with it. So Aldi totally expects you, if you don't like your particular item that you purchased, to come and bring it back, and they will give you another one and they will give you your money back. If they have a policy, just hold them to that particular policy. I would love to have a conversation about that down below. Y'all may inform me that this is unethical. I really don't think it is. So maybe there's not going to be any pushback, but the paranoid YouTuber in me is a little bit afraid that y'all are going to disagree with this part of the video. So feel free to let me know how I'm wrong. Okay, last up, let's talk about taking the time to keep an eye on the prices of the items that you buy on a regular basis. So sometimes there's just repeat buys that we make every single month. And sometimes we will find those items on sale. A lot of stores will have price match guarantees. So for 30 days or for however long that the store allows, they will check your receipt and give you the difference between what you paid versus their current sale price. I know this works at Costco because I just did it. I told y'all last week about how expensive coffee is. I just found the coffee that we love on sale, $4 off at Costco. And I had just bought 2 packages the other day. So I went to the front desk and gave them my account number. They looked up and saw that I had made those purchases within 30 days. And they just gave me an $8 Costco card for me to use the next time I was there. That is money in the bank. And all I had to do was take a little bit of extra effort, go to the front desk and ask them for the refund. They don't mind. They do it all the time and it's no big deal. To me, it was a little bit of a big deal because I don't like confrontations and I don't want somebody to think I'm trying to get something for nothing. But they don't mind it. This is their policy. And I know that a lot of other stores have this same policy as well. Now, you can't really do this for items that like were on markdown. So if you see a package of chicken that's marked down because it was close to going out of date, and so they marked that chicken down, you can't then go and say, well, I got this chicken for $3 a pound and I paid $1.50 a pound today, so I want to get my money back. You can't do that. But if it is a stated sale price on an item that is usually in the store at a higher price, they do not mind, at least at Sam's and Costco, price matching those items for at least 30 days. Well, I think I have completely run out of ideas on ways to save on snacks for this food budget meal plan, but I know that you have a lot of ideas and I hope that you will share them down below. I hope that these tips were helpful for you, and I hope I've been able to help you think of a couple of new ways to save on your food budget every month. If you like this kind of content, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me to know what you like, and it also really helps YouTube to know that this is helpful information that could help other people, and they will send it out to more and more viewers. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I hope that you will do that. I am so glad to have so many new subscribers. Welcome to the community, and I am really glad to have you as a friend. I'm excited to wrap up this series next week, so I hope that you will click the bell icon so that you can make sure and be notified when that video and all future content comes out. And don't forget to look down in the description box to find this week's meal plan and recipes. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a wonderful week. I love you, and I will see you again next time.